Welcome to the Longevity Mindset channel, the channel that helps you discover why you should want to live a long, healthy, wise, and happy life. Here we go. Let's get started right away. During our earthly life, we invest a large part of our time and energy acquiring material goods and achieving success. We believe that these things will bring us security and happiness. Today, even longevity has become a trend, another milestone to reach to prove we have been successful. Most of the time, we live without considering that our life has an expiration date, just like a pot of yogurt. And so, when we reach that phase called old age, many find themselves feeling empty, as if life no longer has meaning. We realize that despite everything, energy and time slip through our hands and that the expiration date is near. Welcome once again to the Longevity Mindset channel, a place dedicated to sharing ideas and strategies for living a long, healthy, wise, and happy life. In this video, we will discuss a topic that might seem unappealing, the expiration date. The goal of this video is to encourage you to change your perspective on life and death itself. The goal is to inspire curiosity and interest, rather than fear, when the day comes. Today, death is hidden away, almost as if it were the ultimate failure. It's better not to talk about it, better not to see it. This approach stems from not knowing who we really are and not understanding what life and death truly are. The approaching expiration date generates resignation and fear. This happens because we know nothing about what we are about to face, and the unknown inflates our fear, transforming it into psychological suffering for both those who leave and those who remain. Some elderly people surrender to this, telling themselves, "In the end, life doesn't depend on me." Fortunately, though, there are also those who don't give up. Those who seek deeper answers, who want to better understand who they are and what life and death truly are. These people begin what is called a spiritual journey, an inner journey to self-discovery. They have intuited that the key to maintaining high motivation lies in knowing who they truly are. They understand that life would be meaningless without asking these fundamental questions and seeking answers. And along their spiritual journey, many of them discover that materialism has led us to believe in a limited vision of reality. These courageous spiritual seekers realize that we are not just a body with a mind, we are much more. As Deepak Chopra says, "You are not just a physical body with a mind, you are a field of awareness, a limitless being." Motivation and the joy of living, those that never end, are not found in material goods or external success, but in a deep understanding of oneself and one's purpose in this life. To clarify this concept, let me first explain what is meant by materialism. According to the materialist view of life, everything that exists is measurable and located within space and time. But reality is very different. It is not only mystics from every era who tell us this, but also quantum physicists who, over the last 100 years, have explored the infinitely small. Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot go beyond consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness." Spiritual seekers thus discover that consciousness and free will are not illusions, but the very basis of what we perceive as real. This fundamental substance, which is the origin of everything, is called by many names: absolute cosmic consciousness, the One or God, among others. It is a reality made of units of consciousness, or quantum fields, which are the true essence of the world we live in. Everything we observe and experience in our material world originates from this divine code behind everything, including human beings, both you and me. This divine code does not cease to exist. It existed before our birth. It exists during our life, and it will continue to exist after our physical death. Understanding this is crucial. We are not just passive instruments of life, but within each of us, and within every form of life, echoes the resonance of this divine code. When we leave the body and mind behind, we return to being part of that conscious essence, that cosmic consciousness. This awareness is the first step towards a healthy and happy longevity, as it makes us understand that we are much more than just a body and a mind. What we are today in our physical body is the reduction of the all to a specific viewpoint on the all. Still, many materialist scientists today believe that consciousness is merely an epiphenomenon of the mind, a byproduct of brain activity. In other words, they think the mind governs consciousness. However, numerous pieces of evidence and studies demonstrate the contrary, showing that even when the body and mind are dead, consciousness continues to exist. The words of the teacher Eckhart Tolle are illuminating. Life is a dream from which we awaken at death, but it is not the end. It is just a new beginning. To simply understand that cosmic consciousness exists even when we no longer exist in the physical world, let's ask ourselves a simple question. Who guides the development of the fetus in the womb? Who gives the order for cells to become bone, ear, lung, heart, or brain? Who is the conductor of this extraordinary process? The truth is that the mind and body are instruments, vehicles that the cosmic consciousness uses to experience itself. We are manifestations of this cosmic consciousness, of the One, of God, of the Absolute, observing and experiencing itself from a specific point of view. In the same way, a dolphin, an elephant, a dog, or a pig are also vehicles of this cosmic consciousness. They too are different points of view that the Absolute has manifested in the material world to observe and understand itself. Every form of life is a fragment of this great, constantly evolving field of consciousness. When we humans completely identify with our mind and body, we are at the mercy of what we call the ego. We fear losing everything we believe we are, a body and a mind. The ego should be a tool that helps us discover who we truly are, like a vehicle that takes us from point A to point B. However, when the ego swallows our life, when we get lost in it, suffering begins. We suffer because, beyond success and achieved results, we lose the meaning of life, the vision of who we truly are, and our deep purpose. This phrase from the mystic Rumi expresses the concept well. Let go of your ego. Only then can the beloved enter. Yet fortunately, within each of us, there is always a little voice that tells us we are something more, whispering to us to seek. Deep down, each of us feels that there is something that defines us, something that has remained unchanged through the years and transformations of the physical body. This something is the soul. We are not just a body and a mind. We are a trinity, body, mind, and soul. Indeed, no one would ever say, I am a body. No one would say, I am a mind. But many feel inspired to say, I am a soul. In every culture, there is a concept that defines this immaterial part: soul, monad, consciousness, Atman, etc. These different definitions depend on the context and the religion that has appropriated the spirituality of that place. Too often, these different interpretations have come into conflict, generating divisions and struggles of all kinds. But they are all the same thing. This thing is conscious, endowed with free will, and exists even outside of space and time, even after we have left the body. Each thing or soul in its own life path seeks to resolve itself, and by doing so, it contributes to resolving a part of the absolute. The thing is like a small Rubik's Cube trying to solve itself, which in turn is part of a much larger Rubik's Cube. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin expressed it this way: "We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience." This understanding sheds light on our immortality and the dynamics of reincarnation. In each incarnation, we work to solve the thing, to resolve ourselves and develop consciousness. In this succession of lives, we continue to exist beyond the mind and body. When we die, or rather, when we leave the physical body, we reconnect with a broader reality, which is our true essence. Yet each incarnation appears new to us because, to develop consciousness, we must live authentically each time, as if it were the first time. Discovery, knowledge, and experience drive us to evolve. That's why we go through so many experiences in life, both positive and negative, to develop consciousness, to develop that immortal thing within us. These experiences are merely tools for knowing and evolving our individual consciousness, thus contributing to the evolution of the larger Rubik's Cube, which is the Absolute. Plato said, "The soul forgets all the knowledge acquired in past lives when it enters a new body, but it can be awakened through philosophy and wisdom." You are essentially the thing. You are the Absolute. You are God. But let me explain what it truly means to be the Absolute, to be God. The Absolute or God is not a separate, omnipotent entity that governs creation, but something much deeper of which we are a part. You are the Absolute or God, experiencing itself through your unique perspective. Imagine this Absolute, this God, as an infinite ocean of consciousness. You, as an individual, are like a wave in that ocean. At first glance, you seem separate, with your own form and dynamics within space-time. However, your true essence is the same substance from which the entire ocean is made. Your physical individuality is real, but it does not represent the whole truth. You are both the wave and the ocean simultaneously. Rumi again tells us, "You are a drop in the ocean, but also the entire ocean in a drop." This is the profound meaning of being the Absolute, or God. You are a localized expression of universal consciousness, the same divine essence that permeates all existence. Understanding this means realizing that separation is just an illusion of the mind. In reality, we are all part of a single, vast flow of consciousness, manifesting in different forms. But it is always the same energy, evolving through each of us. The life we think we live as separate individuals is, in fact, a kind of limitation, almost a form of death compared to our true nature of cosmic consciousness. Physical existence is only a small fraction of our total being. It's like focusing on a single pixel of an infinite screen. This limited understanding makes us lose sight of the bigger picture and fuels the fear of death, which is seen as the end of everything. But if you are the Absolute, if you are God, if you are a localized expression of cosmic consciousness, you might ask, how can I begin to live from this truth? How can I awaken to my divine nature? The Indian mystic Sri Ramana Maharshi tells us, the self is not something you acquire. It is already within you. You just have to recognize it. The first step is to question your current identity. You have been conditioned to believe you are merely a physical body with a separate mind, but I hope you have now begun to understand that this is not the case. Start by observing your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations. Notice how they have changed over time, while that thing within you has remained unchanged. That deep, constant awareness is a glimpse into your true essence. A second step is learning to meditate. Meditation helps you temporarily distance yourself from the needs and noise generated by the body and mind. Those who practice meditation know that, at first, the body and mind resist and do not want to calm down. But then, when one manages to overcome that resistance, the reunion with the divine occurs. It is at that moment that one understands who we truly are, and a new journey begins. A journey of love toward oneself and one's divine essence. This is awakening, returning to our true nature, recognizing that we are both the wave and the ocean at the same time. And from this awakening, a new life is born, a life full of meaning, free from fear, and filled with love. As you begin to identify less with your physical body and more with that immutable awareness dwelling within you, you will naturally start to transcend perceived limitations. This physical life, with all its challenges and difficulties, is merely a catalyst for your spiritual growth. It is precisely by overcoming these limitations that you begin to remember your true limitless nature. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to remember who you truly are and to awaken your divine nature. When you encounter a problem, instead of reacting from your egoic self, try to take a step back and observe the situation from your broader awareness. Ask yourself, how would God respond to this situation? Perhaps you tell yourself, it's hard. Why should I do it? My life is fine as it is. And that's understandable. But if while watching this video, you felt that a part of you recognized itself in that thing I spoke of, then this might be the right moment to begin your spiritual journey of self-discovery. And when you discover your true essence, all your fears will vanish, including those related to living and dying. You will have access to a new, infinite source of energy that will allow you to live your life fully until the end of this incarnation. Old age, decay, and the fear of no longer being interesting, capable, or important will fade into the background. Because you will have met yourself. You will have met the Absolute. You will have met God. If this video has inspired you or made you reflect, give it a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss upcoming content. Share it with those you love, because the journey to a fully lived life is a path we can take together, evolving our consciousness step by step. We look forward to see you in the next video. See you soon.